Yo, what is up, my lords and ladies of House Forrester? Haven't said that in a very long time, but I'm here today with a Game of Thrones video by Telltale, talking about where the hell is Game of Thrones Season 2. Now, at this point, it's been about a year and a half since the release of the last episode, episode 6 of Game of Thrones Season 1, and we haven't heard a peep about Season 2. Now, of course, after episode 6 was released, we had like a day or two afterwards, they announced that Season 2 is happening. And ever since then, it's been radio silence, nothing about Game of Thrones. They haven't even uttered anything about Game of Thrones ever since they announced the sequel. And of course, it's been about a year and a half now, which is, you know, it's not too long, but when it comes to a series that has been confirmed to happen, there hasn't been any kind of like just word teasers or just, you know, them saying soon or whatever. Because usually with Walking Dead, they go ahead and just say all kinds of things about how, you know, they're ambitious about it and everything else and working on it and stuff like that. But for Game of Thrones, there hasn't really been anything in terms of, you know, just if you haven't heard about like them actually announcing it, then you wouldn't think they're gonna make a season 2, but they are. So where has that been? Now, of course, at E3 we had a little message from Job J. Stauffer over on stage. He actually said something that was actually pretty important that could actually be about Game of Thrones. I'll go ahead and play it right now.
Honest to God, Telltale fans, you've been asking for some things for a very long time. A lot of our mature series and mature content, there are always going to be Telltale series for all ages.
Yep.
There are going to be Telltale series for mature audiences, and I think some of the stuff that you guys have been asking for a very long time, we are very close to being ready to core Telltale fans that have some pretty high expectations for us and wishes are going to be really happy this summer and this year.
So as you heard, he said Telltale's mature fans are getting something that they've been asking for a very long time. That could be one of two things. Wolf Among Us Season 2, which, you know, I would think that wouldn't be a very long time. I mean, that would be like a very, 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 very long time. So, Game of Thrones, it's been a very long time since that concluded. Not really very long time. I don't know. It's just been like a long time since it concluded. But that could be Game of Thrones Season 2. Because that has actually been confirmed by Telltale to actually happen. So, it wouldn't surprise me if it was Game of Thrones instead of Wolf Among Us. But, you know, hopes are still up for that. But anyways, so what I'm hoping for, you know, Game of Thrones actually gets announced or some kind of little teaser, you know, happening very soon. Could be next year. We never know. They're working on, you know, their original IP. They actually got some bit of quote-unquote news on that. They're working on Guardians of the Galaxy at the moment, and they're working on Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, unfortunately. And a little thing about that, man, like, how can you not have any word on Game of Thrones, but you announce a second season on Minecraft? I know Minecraft concluded. Game of Thrones finished up 2015, the end of 2015. Minecraft, I don't even remember when that finished, like 2016 sometime? I don't know, I don't remember. But anyways, pretty much, how are you gonna finish Minecraft later and start it back up so early, while Game of Thrones has been announced way back then, and now Minecraft's getting a sequel? I don't know, man. I'm mad about that. Anyways, so the Game of Thrones TV show is actually coming back on the day of July 16th, and that will be Game of Thrones Season 7. And the final season, Season 8, isn't set to air until 2019. I think I read that. That was actually on what IGN said. But anyways, so that's a very, very long time. And Telltale pretty much, they have a good space of room to actually work out their game in, because Game of Thrones Season 1 actually ends around the beginning of Season 5. So they have, you know, Season 6, that whole season, and then they have, of course, Season 7, which comes out this summer, and that could actually be a ton of room to actually go ahead and explore with House Forrester. So Telltale is planning on giving us some news this summer about some mature rated series. Could possibly be Game of Thrones Season 2. And I'm wondering, when exactly do they plan on releasing this game? Of course, Game of Thrones Season 1 came out in December So the same could happen this year, or maybe not. Maybe just wait until next year when Game of Thrones has a downtime. There's no new season of the TV show coming out next year, so that could be a good time for that. But we'll see about that. Hopefully we get some news this summer about Season 2. I've been waiting for Season 2 for a very long time because this is actually a really good series, you know, even though there were some criticisms about, you know, it being, like, of course, choice not mattering and stuff like that. I just love the aesthetic of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is actually my favorite, all-time favorite TV series, and just seeing Telltale just, like, kind of do it justice with the first season a little bit, to me at least, was actually pretty great and a pretty warm welcome with the Foresters. So I hope they are taking their time with this game and making it the best it can be, because I don't want a new frontier to happen with Game of Thrones. Hopefully they actually take feedback from that game to improve this game and just, you know, work on it. Just hopefully. I'm really just saying hopefully, because I want it to be great. I feel like Season 1 set a bar that they can actually use to basically climb and make it better. It has so much potential to be a great series with all the scope and everything else. So hopefully they will take advantage of what they have with the source material and expand on House Forrester. So comment down below what you guys think about Game of Thrones being on such a low news count. Is it a good thing? Because the hype is kind of dying, and then when they announce it, of course the hype will go back up. It could be that kind of thing, I don't know. Just kind of get us like, okay, Game of Thrones has been gone for a while, but here it comes announced and it's back and we're hype again. Hopefully it will be great. I am a little bit too optimistic because, you know, Telltale, I love you, but man, you gotta put in some effort, lots more effort than New Frontier was. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and leave me a thumbs up and comment down below when you think Game of Thrones Season 2 will actually be released, and will it be good? Comment down below and maybe I'll do a little wish list or what I think they can improve on with Season 2 video. Stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. I'm Infernal, and I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out.
From ice we Foresters born, to ice we all return. Father, brother, I've sworn to guard this rest you've earned.